Today I'll be sharing with you 6 simple at-home exercises that you could start doing today to get that nice booty ready for summertime. We're starting off with leg raises. This is a simple exercise. You just have to control your balance. It could be tricky at times, and the best trick is to just find a point to stare at and focus at that single point and do slow movements. It's not about speed. It's just slowly getting that nice long stretch in, and this is going to really help to work those glutes. Weights are optional. You absolutely do not need to use any weights. I'm just using light weights, but I love this exercise. I do it very often, so I feel comfortable using weights. But if you're a beginner, please just focus on your form. And if you feel like you're more advanced, then please go ahead and you can incorporate some weights. Moving on with RDLs, this is one of my favorite exercises as well because all of these exercises involve deep stretching while working the glutes. So you want to slowly just reach down to your toes. You want to bend your knees slightly, and then when you come up, just hinge at the hips. Here I'm showing you in the back view. Slow movements, steady movements. And again, with this exercise, it's optional whether you want to use weights or not. If you're just starting off, focus on form. Do not add any weights until you feel like you're ready to. You can use dumbbells or barbells. It's entirely up to you. Just keep in mind where you're at with your form. So we're going to continue with 3 sets, and we're doing 15 reps for each set. The key here is to slowly bend down, and you want to come up with a bit more speed. This is just an example of some exercise that I find enjoyable. And when you find an exercise that you find enjoyable, you're more likely to do it. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're moving every single day, try your best. If you feel like 3 sets is too much, just stick with 1 set and 15 reps and then just move on slowly each single day. Next, we're going to continue with hip thrusts. Just lay flat on your back and you want to slowly thrust up your hips. I'm having the weights here, but you don't need to have any weights at all. And you want to hold at the top for 2 or 3 seconds. So we're going to continue this for 15 reps and 3 sets. But again, you don't need to do that. Just listen to your body and do what you feel is right. And on the contrary, if you're up for it, you can add an extra weight by using a barbell that weights more. But listen to your body, and I find that this exercise is great for really toning those glutes. The key here is also not to rush it. Hold it at the top. Next, we're moving on to sumo squats. I love these because squats are not the easiest exercise, but I find that sumo squats are a lot easier to do, and they also really work the glutes as any other regular squat. Here I'm holding weights, but again, that's entirely optional. You do not need to use any weights, but focus on slow, steady movements and hinge at the top. Today, we're focusing entirely on glutes, but if you're up for it, this could be a compound exercise, and you could add bicep curls if you like, or you can just hold it and pause, and that's going to work your arms while you're working your glutes, which I love. You want to go as low as possible without having your knees reach over your toes. So your knees are reaching over, don't go too low. Listen to your body and just focus on your form. Although today we're focusing entirely on glutes, if you are up for it and you do have dumbbells, don't be afraid to incorporate a compound exercise and maybe do some bicep curls. For today, I'm just going to hold them steady, and I know that's also going to work my arms while I'm pulsing here. So here's another great way to do the sumo squat, especially if you have got any back problems or you're just starting off. Just grab a yoga ball, put it right against the wall, and you want to slowly just do those sumo squats. And I find that I can go a lot lower with the help of the yoga ball. This is really, truly one of my favorite exercises. I'm also getting in a really nice deep stretch. I find that this truly helps me with my form. And I know that I'm not breaking my back or my knees while doing this exercise. It's very gentle. It's very beginner friendly. And you're still working those glutes, which is exactly what we want. So I would recommend to do 3 sets, 15 reps each. But if you're up for it, you can do it until failure because this is quite easy. So feel free to do as many as you feel like. After you completed your sets, please remember to do a pulsing exercise. This will really get those glutes working. They'll be on fire, and you're going to really tone those glutes really nicely. Try to stay in this position for as long as possible. Try to fight through that burn. And the last exercise for today is side squats. So you want to grab a resistant band and just put it right above your knees and take those side squat steps. For the purpose of the video and to stay within the frame, I'm taking short steps, but please feel free to walk from one end of the room to the other end of the room. So these are some exercises that I truly love doing if I want to work my glutes, but I don't feel like going to the gym and I don't really need a lot of equipment. I just stay at home and it only takes me about half an hour. Once you're done all the exercises, never ever forget to stretch. Try and go into a deep lunge and just stretch those glutes nicely on each side. I absolutely love stretching, especially going to a nice deep stretch. Please leave in the comments below. I'm really curious to see if you guys also love stretching. There are absolutely no rules here. Just stretch in whichever way feels best. Try to reach your toes, move your legs. Any kind of stretching is always going to be beneficial. Stretch your quads, try to balance. I find that looking straight ahead really helps me with balancing, but do what works for you. Just make sure you stretch evenly on both sides. Also, don't forget to open up your hips. I like doing these round hip circles, and I feel like that really helps to make sure my hips aren't tight after doing any kind of glute workout. Also, when in doubt and you're not sure what kind of stretching exercise to do, downward dog is always the best. It kind of stretches the entire body. You want to sit here for a few minutes and take some deep breaths and slow down your heart rate. And lastly, I'm going to finish off with world's greatest stretch. That's my other favorite stretch. I'm just trying to find my balance here. So all you have to do is go into a deep lunge, raise your arms up and look up. This is a great stretch for your entire body, and make sure to do it on both sides. I really hope these sample exercises were helpful because I'm a lazy girl, but I do want to get that nice booty and those glutes working. So let me know in the comments below.